And now that the rains are coming, it feels so. I don't know. It comes with a lot of ease. I mean, I just love it. I love how the weather is going. I know that it's going to mean that today is going to be slow, kind of. People feeling draggy. You don't want to get out of bed and all. But when you remember your bills, you are going. You're going to leave your house. But all the same, sharp. The weather is feeling. I mean, it's feeling very very good this morning. I love it.
Yes,
I
it
love
is,
it.
and also a bit cold as well for people like me.
But
But I
that's
mean,
another thing.
yeah, that's another thing.
But which would you prefer? The cold weather?
I've always
But
preferred the sunny weather. Honestly,
with all this plenty
the
heat
heat
everywhere.
I could actually manage it, but you see the
Mm.
cold is something else for me. So
I can relate to that,
no
Sha.
no
I can
no.
relate to that. But I
So,
mean, for this morning, the way it feels like this morning,
hey.
it's just perfect. It's just perfect. You on the other side, however it is that you're feeling this morning, get yourself together because you need to stay jiggy and stay
Mhm.
updated on all of the happenings across the country. And of course, we're here to just send you that
Absolutely.
and tell you exactly what you need to know, give you the information, and you make of it
While
what
they're
you will.
enjoying their hot cup of coffee.
Even if you're on the road, even if you're on the road, we're still going to serve you regardless. So that's what
Mhm.
it is. Come one, come all. It is time for the newspaper review on Women Radio 91.7. My name is Esther Alaride.
And I am Miracle Philip.
And we're going to be doing this together, reviewing the dailies across different Nigerian newspapers. So I have been seeing different videos of some school. I would not like to put out the name yet. I saw some videos of some student bullying this child. This student was being bullied by other students. And one thing struck me in that video: the fact that this child who was being bullied. Now, when I mean this child, the child in question or the student in question is actually a teenager.
Mm.
And people on the platform X have been trying to link to find out who this parent is or whose child this is. And funny enough, they've been able to find out who the father is, and the conversations are ongoing and all. In that video, this child or this student was just very, very calm. Like, that kind of calm. That's why sometimes when I see parents trying to be overly policing their children so much, like you put in a lot of fear in a child where a child cannot react or
React
cannot
or speak for
respond.
themselves.
In as much as, I mean, patience is a virtue, of course. We all know that. It is good for you to be calm, be collected, be reserved, and all of that. But there are some situations whereby, like, I was watching that video, first as an individual or as a parent or somebody who also has like siblings or young adults around them. I'm like, this child should just do something, just say something, just be able to stand up for yourself, just do something. And I just want to put this out there that if you have children in school, you need to keep finding out from them. If anybody's bullying them, if anybody's harassing them, your child wakes up in the morning, they don't want to go to school. You want to find out from them exactly what is going on, because so many things are happening. Like, I saw that video and I could not imagine how so much evil some children already have inside of them, that you see another child and all you are thinking of is to beat
Subduing
this
the
person,
child.
to hit this person. Like, why are you even doing that? Why are you doing that? And another thing is, some parents actually know that their children have these tendencies or they've been perpetrating these same things from their home. But no, my child is the superstar. My child knows how to do this one. Oh, you cannot do this one with my child. You cannot. Yeah, that's fine. It's all fun and games until you do it to my child. It's actually all fun and games. Because I just could not imagine. Like, you see some children having bad grades at school, they're dealing with self-esteem issues and all of that. You don't know that it's just maybe one child or one silly clique somewhere victimizing them and making
I really think that parents need to be more attentive to their children.
Of course.
I know that there are some children that, regardless of what you say, they are become the very, very calm personalities. They don't like trouble,
Yeah.
they like staying on their own. But those are most times the people who are often taken advantage of.
Of course.
And I think that where in that place, that's where parents have to step in and get to know who are these people doing this. I remember back then when we were in secondary school, there was always so much to be said about children whose parents come to the school to harass someone else. But the only thing is that at that moment they are making a statement that, hey, my child, you don't touch my child.
Of course.
And for some who didn't make those cases escalate, they were able to have communication with the teacher enough to make it a safe place for the students to come over to the teacher and say, this is what is going on, and please, I need your help and all of that. I think also the school authorities have to be really neck deep in knowing what's happening. You can't be a teacher and you're telling me that you don't know your children that are being bullied by who. And some teachers are very, very absent-minded just because
Nonchalant also.
just because they don't like the fact that they are teaching just to meet their daily bills.
Yeah.
Does not mean that you don't pay attention to what is happening, because if a child is injured, if a child is killed for whatever reason, you take responsibility for that. You'll be implicated. So I think it goes round: teachers, parents, and very much of the parents. You have to create a safe space for your child to even tell you what is going on with them.
Of course,
Please.
of course. Because I cannot imagine sending a child to school every day and somebody is just somewhere hitting the child and beating
And
the
you know,
child
some
for-
parents
for-
actually get to tell their children that they complain too much. But those are the things that silence these
that's another
children.
thing.
Those
Yeah.
are the things that silence these children
Because
at a very young age.
I was actually just looking at that video. I mean, I cannot say just from seeing the video how this child is being raised in the house, or what kind of relationship that she has with her parents. But my own point is, you should be able to let your child know that there's a line between defending yourself, standing up for yourself. I'm not asking you to fight. I'm not asking you to fight, because anybody that knows me knows that when it comes to anything physical, don't touch me, don't come close to me. Yes, you can say whatever you want to say with your mouth, that's your business. But anything that has to do with physical or any kind of confrontation, it can be tacky. It can actually go. But teaching your children how to stand up for themselves, how to defend themselves, how to go report to the authorities or talk about this thing is something that a lot of people need to know. And yes, I know that people will say that, oh, sometimes even your parents don't know any better. Even your parents are just finding themselves, because truly nobody came to this earth with a manual or anything. But if you're going to be having a child, or you're going to be raising a child, especially for teenagers, you have to be up and doing.
I'm also thinking
you need to know the things that you need to know, and know the things you don't need to know because of them.
Yes, I'm also thinking about the fact that each and every one of us should take responsibility for protecting our young ones around us. You know, if you see a child being bullied, please call the attention, or come to the rescue of that child.
Yeah.
Also, be attentive to children around you, because I know there was this period in my life where I was very attentive to teenagers. When I see a child that is very quiet,
timid,
it
worries me.
I tell my parents, I say, there's something about this child, I must get to the root of it. And most of the time it ends the way I actually presume. There's something, most times, linked to the family. So we also, as adults that have come to understand this truth, must protect these young ones. Be invasive, like intrude.
But the thing with teenagers, I mean young children as well, is if you're too in their face,
you use wisdom now.
It can be hard. I still remember very well that one of my youngest around me blocked me from viewing their WhatsApp status, because I was always responding to everything like, why did you post this? Why did you? I just realized that I have been blocked.
Now you can't see the status again.
I was blocked, and I could not even come to ask, like, why did you block me? Because I just knew that I was doing too much. I said, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So we can actually use wisdom to follow these kids. You know, they are wise this generation.
You never know. So let's see what the headlines have this morning. Parents will just like to drop that one for you, because you really need to hear it. You need to hear it. The headlines this morning will start off with the Punch newspapers, as ASU backs federal government on 18 years university admission age. IG warns of governors' excesses as federal government insists on state police. Decentralized policing not new to Nigeria, says Speaker. Army dismisses soldiers involved in Dangote refinery cable theft. Edo polls. INEC unveils 17 candidates to case campaign. Over to the Vanguard.
On the Vanguard newspaper, Mina, 5 children suffocated in abandoned car. Strange illness claims 8 lives in Sokoto, 208 cases identified. Police, Ogun, government on trail of killers of Babcock varsity lecturer. Court discharges ex-Nimasta DG Apollo Kemi over 8.5 billion naira fraud. Prosecution of Yahaya Bello in line with court order. This is coming from the EFCC.
Okay, moving over to the Guardian newspapers. Be magnanimous in victory, Ondo Group tells Aida Tiwa. Tetford installs kidney transplant equipment in 6 centers. Police now suspect over abduction of 2, killing of Babcock lecturer. 60 gallows to Olatunji Bello, a pragmatic leader and phenomenal mother. Amoso's moving over to this day.
On this day newspaper, NNPC partners donate 2,300-seater library to Niger Delta Varsity. Economic hardship persists as petrol sells for 761 naira, diesel 1,566 naira, kerosene 1,875 naira in parts of Nigeria. ECMO, FG will deploy its massive gas resources to benefit all Nigerians. Canada announces $7.3 million fertilizer funding to revolutionize agriculture in Africa. Delta State Governor's pension law. Supreme Court reserves July 12 for judgment.
Right, on the Nation newspapers, police arrest gun runners in Kaduna State. 5 children suffocate to death in Niger State. Three feared killed by court suspect in Rivers community. Bandit surrender in Plateau. Food crisis likely in June to October. Meteorologist warn. This one's coming in. Okay.
Yeah. On the Daily Trust newspaper, Rivers Assembly overrides Fubara, passes the LG amendment bill into law. Court vacates order affirming Gandujay's suspension. Ondo governorship, three aspirants file appeals against Ayedatiwa as APC candidate. Atiku visits Ningi, says National Assembly should not be tool in executive's hand. 11-year-old girl dies after being raped by teacher.
Again, there's actually nowhere that is safe for children. Like this is a girl, 11-year-old girl being raped by her teacher, and now she's lost her life. Now someone will come and tell me about, oh, you shouldn't have left your child with blah blah blah. You shouldn't have, like, where exactly is safe for
the
these
girl
children?
child.
Where exactly is safe? I know that if I go into this conversation, Rosanja is going to come and remind me about how women were supposed to be in the house and take care of the children. Rosanja, I know if you're probably listening, you remember that conversation very well. We could go over and over it again, over it, but again, it's not just about it. It's just because a lot of people have just chosen to be irresponsible and just want to go out of their ways to just subdue the next person. So it's straight really, and it's sad. Finally, on pen pushing, we have Nigeria's media bodies refer case of abduction of journalist Shegun Olatunji to ombudsman. Police boss fumbles with vice president title refers to him as GSM instead of GCON at official function. These are the headlines we have across the Fair Nigerian newspapers this morning. Be a part of the conversation by calling in live on 07000 or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 0703 Once again, to call in live 07000 or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 0703 Let's hear what this caller has to say. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, extra miracle.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing today?
Okay, my name is Kennedy Victor.
Hi, El Kennedy. Good to hear from you this morning.
All right, thanks very much. I want to report about the happenings in my area. Coach not actually go down well with me, and I'm not happy about the development.
Okay.
See, in recent times, there has been a lot of stealing of phone. I stay in Iju Isanga area. You see, there is this water work. You have there's a water work and property that is around my area. So that place is not functioning and it is fenced with a high rise fence. So what this hoodlum does, because there is a pedestrian there, so people go to from that place around that time 6 a.m. in the morning to get to the garage where they will get a box to go to work. So when people, I was going to work, it was just an eyewitness. A young man came and snatched a lady's phone. When he snatched that phone, he now climbed that fence and jumped into that waterworks property. So when he does that, I was even as promised as that. So I want the Red House, which is near up there, to take notice of this because beside that particular waterworks property, There is a village, they call it Abule. In that Abule, many things are going on there. So that's how my business is a business of the security agent to come and checkmate all of these things, you know. So it is very bad. When somebody took her phone and jumped into a high-rise fence, into a bush, so you can do nothing. The girl was just shouting and she was just helpless. So that's number one. Number two, I want to say also, right in my area too, Guntabe, street, 3 weeks ago, a neighbor of mine was coming back from work early morning, went for night duty, was coming back from work, and his phone was snatched from that particular Guntabe, and they beat him up because while he was trying to refuse to them to take.
Mm.
Yes,
Yes,
we
yes,
are.
yes, yes. Mm. Mm.
Mm.
All right, El Kennedy. Points this morning. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kennedy Victor. So, Kennedy Victor is having to complain about this sad situation in his environment, talking about the Iju Shaga area and how people are having to move around, stealing from different people. Funny how I was having the same conversation with somebody yesterday. So, I went to somewhere around Yaba yesterday and I was on my way back, and there was this chaos ongoing somewhere. So I was just standing somewhere else because I don't want anybody to come and touch me with what I don't know about here. So I was just there watching the whole thing, and apparently somebody's phone was snatched. Then they caught the person. So trying to get him to return the
The
phone,
phone.
he had already given it to somebody
Someone
else
else.
again. So the person who they were holding was not even the one with the phone. So they were holding him to provide the
The
person
person.
who he had
Mm.
given the phone to, and that one had, I mean,
Absconded.
just crazy how things can be like. And again, this still goes back to poverty again. um some people not being able to believe in themselves again. I say that regardless of like how much poverty would hit you, there's some things that you will swear to yourself that I would never be able to do this,
Mm.
I would never do this again. Poverty will what exactly. Lobinko, let's hear what Lobinko has to say with has noted this morning. Hi, you need tea.
Kolobinko.
How's the weather treating you?
Good
Yes, good morning.
morning.
Good to hear from you. Yeah,
Mm.
we love it. You know?
Mm, mm.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah, true.
Mm.
coming from. I think was last week or one week I was thinking about similar scenarios where phones were stashed. I don't realize when they even ask for ransom, like when you connect your phone, do you want your phone
Or you.
Oh, really?
And people are passing by, just can't intervene and all of that. So I hope the authorities that this is the message that should be caught. Thanks to the energy but I want to give the appropriate authorities are giving the state and should work on averting situations like this in our area.
All right, thank you very much, Lubinko. And you on the other side as well, you have situations in your environment, in your community that you would like to talk about.
Yes.
Sometimes we can just get carried away with all of the other things that happen in different places, but you also have a duty to also report the things that happen in your own
area.
community. And of course, we're always here to listen to you. And we are really hopeful that security agencies in that area, the Shaga area, would also pick this one up, because for El Kennedy to have called in to report this, it definitely must have gotten to him. Yeah. The phone lines are open: 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 0703 17 56537. You can listen live at the website www.wfm917.com. Download the mobile app to listen live, WFM 9.7. So we'll go into some reports. Let's see what we have.
Oh, yes. So we'll take this one from the Punch newspaper this morning. Boldly written, ASU backs federal government on 18 years university admission age. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, on Monday said the federal government is considering the adoption of 18 years as the entry age for admission into universities and other tertiary institutions of learning. The minister also accused underage students of being responsible for some of the problems being encountered in higher institutions. The president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Professor Emmanuel Oshodike, described the proposition by the federal government as a welcome development. In his words, he said, "We are in full support. It is the right thing. What the minister said is the right thing," as the president said. And he also added that the issue of age-based new thing. It's just that regulators have not been doing their work. Still in his words that in those days you could not go to primary school if you were not 6 years old. I'm even remembering a time when someone told me that before
you have
to turn your arm over and get to touch. You have to touch your shoulder on the other side before you can even get to school,
Okay.
But a whole lot of things have changed. And when I look at, this news report to back when I was in primary school, back then you have children who are very young. I think for me, I got into, secondary school when I was 11. I think 11, 10.
Okay.
Close to 11, 10. There were times where we got to see children who were like 8 in secondary school, and I even remember having a conversation with someone. I said, back in the days, my days, I don't know the details of my parents.
Anybody listening to the days, I feel like the people just be laughing like, okay, let's say you're back in the days.
Back in the
I'll
days,
come back and say mine.
You get to see children in secondary school. They're all big and tall, but these days you see, what you're like, this was supposed to be primary school, but they, they're in secondary school, and oftentimes you just sit down and wonder, when this one enters university, how would they be able to cope? And that's why we get to see our parents, always so bothered. How you coping, coming to drop their children in school and all of that. I can tell that maybe, this is a welcome development. But what about people who have already been able to, take their children out of secondary school at a very early age? What happens? For some parents, they're able to enroll them in some vocational skills or, take some 1 year or 2 years. I remember a friend of mine who finished school very early, but her parents were like, no, you're not going until you're this age. We have students who are 16, 15 getting into the university. But no, Binko, looking at, a particular point where, the official said these young ones are the ones responsible for the unpleasant development in the universities. Do you actually support that?
Anyway, we are not worried that when growth begins to the university should be mature.
Mm.
And at times I would say maturity is actually not about age.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we will see some people in their forties. You still wonder, this person, why is this person acting like a 15-year-old?
Mm.
And then you see some. The world is evolving. I mean, the youngest doctor in the world is less than 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen instances where young people, due to their capacity and unique capacity, are given admission even in other countries. They don't even go seeking for this admission.
Mm.
It comes to them because the talent in them is recognized.
Mm.
We should be looking beyond I mean, of course, it's good at an age is great. I think it's really too much.
Mm.
17, 15-year-olds can do well with it.
Mm.
And talking about the young ones being the one causing all the problems, I think I would disagree with that.
Mm.
Because when you talk about university problems, when you see Russia mention the university like that, academically they probably will sound very
Yes.
sound. And
Mm-hmm.
they probably will be able to catch up with the social life and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. For academically, because they are coming on to understand. I mean, anybody that can make it to the university at that age, really, based on failures, will probably be sharp. But you see, when we talk about vices in the university, the struggle in the university, we are talking about cultivating, we are talking about all the social vices, we are talking about even molestation.
Mm.
I think people that age would really be in the circle of those that would be causing that. And you reach a less than 21 year, a less than a 16, 17-year-old girl will probably not so much as attract the lecturers that wants to let the students. I mean, it has its pros and cons. It's good, very well that yes, we're having an age bracket, but I think 18 is still so much. The 17-year-old can cope all of the university. Anyway, I entered the university at old age, so.
Okay.
But of course, we know that people
Mm.
and also my choice. I think rather than talking about age, we should be talking about maturity and for
Mm.
which should guide their admission. I think that's what we do. That's what we do.
All right.
I think yeah, probably very well.
Mm. All right, Lubingo, I'd like for us to look at this in foresight. Let's assume that it is, instituted that at 18 years a child can get into the university, or an adult, young adult. Now, considering how our educational system is, which we're still hoping that there's some sort of reformation, what's the assurance that companies that put a particular age bracket for young graduates to come in on entry level, what's the possibility that these children will meet up? Okay, you get into the university at 18, you have to do a 5-year course plus strikes and all of that, and then your company that you want to work with says they don't need more than 25 years or 26 years, and all of these conditions get to affect the child. So what's the assurance now that there's a job? We know already that usually there's no job waiting for you. So what's the assurance now that you are safe at least?
I think the problem is that's why I always talk about the government doing holistic work, Now that the government is taking it at that, I think it should only also be fair that the government also put laws in place that is okay, the youth age, I mean, the age for entry level should be taken to consideration. So discuss as it might be. Of course, when we talk about entry level of organization, the reason why those things are set at our way is because people that age, they are impressionable, especially in the corporate world. And every corporate organization has their culture. So when they have spent months like that, it's easy for them to with everybody coming up with it, principles or policies of the organization, definitely have a way to fight and do that. So I know if the government is saying nobody should gain admission anything younger than 18, and the government should also be respectful and especially going by Nigerian system. I think 18 is actually the age everybody should leave secondary school. I mean, 6 years in go into primary school at 8, you can be at 12, you go into, then you have another 6 to that at 16. So, ordinarily, it looks like it should be the intent at the there. But yeah, talking about jobs, I think the government should also they can lobby the private sectors because this is basically something common in the private sector. Okay, well, you know, extend your entry level to the
Okay, Nobinko, I hear you. I hear your thoughts. I think there's some children that are exceptionally good.
Yes.
But again, there's something called age appropriate place. It's not just about the academics alone. Are you sure that your child is emotionally ready to be able to take on meeting so many people, interacting with different people? People are coming from different homes. You don't want your child calling you and crying over the phone every single time something happens. Yeah, and besides to talk about, the kind of social vices that we have in our universities, and if you've not been able to build your child or instill certain values or morals in your child, you just know that you're going to have a lot to deal with if that child is having to find themselves one way or the other being conscripted into these issues. It's going to be a big blow, and so I think the federal government is probably looking at this. But 16 also what we currently have isn't so bad as well, because we have some people who, again, age is not a measure of you being mature or anything, because if you're going by that one, you're just going to see some adults and like, I don't know, but it's fine. Let's not go into it. It's no shades to anybody. That's fine. Maybe it's about time people just start calling me queen of shades, but I know they shade everybody, but that's fine. 3 minutes past 8 on your Women Radio 91.7. Yes, we're reviewing the dailies. You on the other side, you can call in live 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 07031756537. My name is Esther Alari.
And I am Miracle Philip.
And yes, we have text and WhatsApp messages from you on the other side, and Miracle will be taking them.
Oh yes, we have this message now from Martins Duru, aka Mayor from Ikotwe. He says, "Good morning, the crew. Please saw my APC government telling Nigerians that rice is now sold for 67,000 naira. So we should be jumping or clapping for them. Please help me ask the APC government how much was rice, a plate of gari, dollar, fuel, and so many other items in 2015 when they took over. Please let them return us to where they met us. As far as I'm concerned, the meaning of APC is all promises cancelled. Light will be increased by the end of this year by 60,000 or 6,000 megawatts. Another big lie, like when Fashola told us that in 6 months they will give us 40,000 megawatts. Up till now, we are still battling with 2,000 megawatts after 9 years of APC in power. Okay, thank you very much for your contribution this morning. This is coming from Olushoga Ajayi from Ikorodu. Says, people that turned state electoral commissions to a comedy are to be handed over to the police force. Governors will just see them as their armed forces. I pity the opposition in the states. Left to me, the idea of state police should just be buried, as we are not mature for it. A good morning, presenter. The proposal by the Honorable Minister of Education to peg university admissions at 18 years will rid the Nigerian education system of manipulation done at primary school level, which is the bane of our deteriorating educational glories. We have to return to the era of pupils touching the tip of their ear to return Nigeria back to their glory years, as our education system has been drawn back with immature children getting undeserved promotions. Bad followers will never produce good leaders. Nigeria will survive. Resenje Olawale from Alakwera. Thank you very much for your message. This is coming from additional Wasiu in Ikorodu. It says, morning to you in the studio on state police. We need state police now. And my advice to the federal government in any state that doesn't want state police can remain so. But other states that want state police should have it. Even the federal police are they not abused? State police to me is the way to go. Ignore Ebetukun. He wants status quo to remain, and abuse of state police can be measured for more people to be killed. State police is the only way out. Thank you very much for your message. This is coming from Barrister Ugo Osuji. Says, good morning, WFM, Esther Miracle, and analyst Lubinko. You said we should give Lubinko shaker, not tea. Okay, this school and students bullying of each other remains the making of the home they are coming from, as our lives as parents remains a mirror on which our younger ones look at life, so show them good examples. The RJ police attack on the formation of the state police remains born out of the past and present events in the land as they unfold. Take, for instance, the rums between Yahaya Bello and the EFCC, qua the role actions of the incumbent governor, Usman Odojo, obstructing the FCC with his police orderly. One wonders what will happen when power becomes a willing tool of governors and their state police. Last man nuisance values in Lagos with motorists and the impending deaths also is a foretaste of what a state police will be. Or better put, consider the role actions of various states' electoral commissioners and the governors. During conduct of state local government elections, could you see the winner take it all of the party in power in that state? Other political parties have been asked to go to court. Let the conventional Nigeria police be adorned in Section 214 of the Constitution 1999 as amended, but be weaned of corruption and the bully mentality that the Nigerian police is a force, which it is not, than the Nigeria Police Service. I humbly submit. Thank you very much. This message right here says, good morning, dear presenter. IGP wants to keep enjoying the monopoly of power and security of lives and property, which is not in tandem with reality. We have both federal and state traffic controllers, and one does not seem to override the other, which makes traffic controlling a bit easy than having only the federal institution. State assembly should stop being a tool in the governor's hands and be ready to formulate laws that will make it impossible for the governor to manipulate state police under their watch. Still from Rosenje, thank you very much for your message.
All right. Thank you very much for your messages. The phone lines are open 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 56537. So I just want to put this out there. I just saw something. If you were going to call in today to tell HR that, oh, because of rain, wanting, may HR not approve it. HR is not going to approve it. So all you 9 to 5ers, you want to call HR and say, oh, you're running late. Oh, your area is wanting because of the rain. HR is not going to approve it. You will go to that office today. You will, because 9 to 5ers just want to just take everything as any opportunity to take.
I don't know what happened. I'm allergic to the rain.
I saw a post one time where somebody said he's going to call HR to let HR know that his cat just died and he cannot come to work. Somebody said, "What's it concern HR? Concern your cat."
I'm mourning the loss. He's mourning the loss of his partner.
You know how you can feel like sometimes when it rains and you just feel very, very.
That rain is sweet for morning.
I know, Sha, but you cannot relate because you have to be here.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I know, right. 10 minutes past 8, and we're still reviewing the dailies across the Nigerian newspapers right here on Women Radio 91.7. On the other side, you can reach us right here in the studio by calling us on 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. Okay. So we go into this one, looking at this report here. This one that says on the Vanguard newspapers, Mina, 5 children suffocate in abandoned car. And this report has it that 5 children, three of the same parent, have died from suffocation in an abandoned car in Mina, Niger State. The sad incident occurred in the Al-Bishiri area of Mina, and this incident happened on Sunday, sadly. These 5 children were said to be playing in the area before they eventually went into this vehicle, which was said to have been parked on the same spot for almost 3 years now. And these children, how they got in or how they got into the vehicle, it just could not be ascertained, but they were later discovered dead in the vehicle. Again, this still goes back to safety of children living home. Before you joined us, we're talking about how children get bullied in school, and some parents don't know because they don't pay enough attention, or teachers also being nonchalant. And this one also is also a case of child safety as well.
Yeah.
You just assume that, oh, a child is playing somewhere and you're also having your me time. Like, for any reason, when everywhere is quiet, when you have children or toddlers around, that's actually when you should be worried, because their silence means that so many things
Something
are
is
going
happening
on.
that you're not aware
Yeah,
of.
you get it. You get it. So it's not. This report is very sad, and to think that 3 children from the same parents, that's a very big
They're
blow,
only
because
children.
whoever it was that was in charge of taking care of the children at the time, that person has a lot of questions to answer, Lobingo.
It's very and it's super and it's really hard work. The God's protection of family of one and children. But the truth remains, I want to see you. We can't be perfect as watching each other. I remember while growing up, I had some friends. We check out the way from home, so I did friends. And in one of those occasions, that particular guy was not home. One of the children comes into the river and never came out. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It might not be the first time of those children came in that car. And in that car, it was there for so long. And it just happens to be a bad thing. And this is also why they run to parents, to people that have a paramount character. Again, I don't even know how to react. It's a great loss that the trauma will probably be forever with those that are affected. And this is one of the reasons why abandoned vehicles are not encouraged in public. Should not be encouraged in public. Children will always be children. I mean, for any reason, you might be in that car for it. Children will always be children. And of course, this is not inside the house. I can see, again, how we used to play while we were young. Everybody knows that. Because you know they're in that car, one thing leads to the other. Probably they lost themselves in, and people go for it and all of that. So God console the family. This this happens. Keep watching over our children.
Again, when it comes to safeguarding children, safety of children, there's actually like a lot to be done. You cannot be too careful. You cannot do too much. You cannot overemphasize the need for you to be up and doing, especially for their safety. Like, there's just so much that one needs to do, really. Let's look at some of the messages that we have here.
All right, we've got a few more messages. This one says, "Good morning, crew. State and community policing is the way to go. I wonder why some people are only considering its shortcomings and not its merit. We need policing to be closer to the people so as to checkmate rising state of insecurity. God bless Nigeria. This is Kunle from Mavuro. Also here from Additional Wasiu says, top of the morning to you ladies in the studio. I think it is better to measure the age to enter into the university, because we are dealing with a university and there are other things to measure as well before entering into the institution. Many people fast track their children's academic progress just to quickly have the certificate, which is really wrong. Thank you very much, Additional, for your message this morning. We equally have another one this time around. It is coming from Tochi Rotimi Obi from Obanikoro says, on age benchmark for entry into tertiary institution, before the government can review the age entry into the tertiary institutions, they should go into talks with the private sector and corporate organizations to negotiate on employable age brackets. Besides, maturity does not come with age, but with the acceptance of responsibilities. Thank you very much, Tochi.
Right. Thank you for your messages. And Kunle from Magboro, good to hear from you. It's actually been a long while. Where have you been? Good to hear from you, though, and I look forward to hearing more from you. The phone line is still open 07000 917 917, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 565 37. 17 minutes past 8, and we're still reviewing the dailies on Women Radio WFM 91.7. You can find us across all social media platforms at WFM 917. And you can find me at Alaribe Esther across all social media platforms. But don't come expecting me to be reviewing the daily on social media. Just so you know.
Yes, you can also find me at Miracle Philip _ as well on social media platforms.
Yeah. So don't come expecting me to be reviewing the dailies. No.
Say Miracle, that thing we say Esther, that thing we were talking
No.
about.
Don't bring
I didn't like your
conversation there.
view. I didn't like your
Don't
view.
bring the conversation there because I'm not gonna answer you. I won't. Okay, let's look at this one on the Nation newspapers. This one says bandits surrender in Plateau. And this report has it that some bandits operating in Wase local government area of Plateau State have surrendered their weapons. It was learned yesterday. Now, the senior special advisor to the governor on security and commander of Operation Rainbow, Major General Gak Shipi, retired, who addressed a press conference yesterday, said, "We are all aware of the security challenges bedeviling the state, and I know attention will be on Mago, Bokos, and Rayon, where we lose sight of other council areas with serious security challenges." And this one is worthy to note that they've gone into collaboration with other security agencies to bring these challenges to the barest minimum. And most of these bandits have been chased out of the boundaries, some of them eliminated, and they've also created a venue for discussion. Some of the criminals and bandits have even willingly surrendered to security agencies, and they have also turned in their weapons. So, Lovinko, all of these conversations of bandit turning in themselves or surrendering, does this mean that they will still not face the consequences that they want to face? Because this conversation, I recall during the Buhari's administration, was a very, very big conversation.
For the last we read about the different Boko Haram who seeked the truth of someone, and it's probably ready. We have the little Boko Haram testing. Did you read about that?
I'm not sure I saw that one now.
Yeah, that's probably ready. Operation in the human, the roots of the woman, and issue or risky admitted to the crime right before him. You know, that process is supposed to bring about more leniency in judgment. It doesn't cancel persecution outrightly. And when we see Nigeria, we see a lot of these guys. I mean, it's so much happening. the trauma that people leaves for the country is excruciating because the families that have been affected by the act of this bandits or terrorists or whatever you call them. I mean, you know, people still people working freely. Let them repent, or even when they repent, they should be prosecuted. So look at this kind of prosecution. I mean, doesn't mean anyway, amongst our politicians, when they walk outside, as long as they are able to repent and they return some, they also constructive. They people to get it. And when you look at all those banditry and terrorism, I think it's an extension of our politicians. I think they are the ones that seems to actually be sponsoring those things. Because if they are not the ones sponsoring it, I don't want to believe that security tried so long any society. It happens when we don't miss like this. And I think it shouldn't be something that should be encouraged. All the many of the repentance are angry. And because they are repentant, we just put them as not them into society. No, they should be prosecuted. Whose cases the staff started penalty whereas we can believe on it. I mean, God help Nigeria.
God help Nigeria. God help us really, because it's not just enough. And to think that there's some people who've had their family members killed by this bandit or been affected by conflicts one way or the other, then you get to hear that some people are being granted amnesty or they're surrendering willingly and nobody's saying anything or they're free to go. You're just thinking like there has to be some kind of closure and you want to see justice actually being served. But if this one doesn't happen in or some of these cases, trust me when I say that people would feel slighted, people will feel a certain way, and it's not just the way to go. Trust me, it's not the way to go. Some of the messages that we have here, this one from Rosenje Olawale Muti from Alakwara says, it is one of the many good news of the day that the federal government has commenced trial of arrested Boko Haram members as they should be made to face the consequences of their actions and inactions. The inability of the government to serve justice over the years has made crime attractive to all and sundry, and that may stop when justice is seen and heard to be served. Bad follows will never produce good leaders. Nigeria will survive. Allah bless Nigeria.
And this is coming from Barrister Go Suji. Says all these news of bandits surrendering their weapons and now repentant are all ruse to confusing the uninitiated in the body politic Nigeria. Prosecution of those repentant Boko Haram, romantically called bandits, kidnappers, and terrorists, remain the only panacea to a healthy polity. As from the mystical ken of the seers, this banditry war remains war without end. May their prayers not be heard. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Barrister Suji.
Thank you very much for your text and WhatsApp messages. Thank you for joining the conversation today, really, because these stories, these different reports are not things that we don't know about. The things that we've come to talk about day in, day out, having the same conversations. But until the change that we want to see, until we say it, I mean, we're not there yet. We're not done yet.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Lobinko, for being a part of this conversation today. Thank you. Now you can go and have your tea. I will not be responsible.
You're shakering. Barrister Ogo said we should give him shakering, not tea.
All right, do have a wonderful day.
And
Thank
you too.
Thank you very much. There we have it. That was Obide Yolanwaju Lubinko analyst this morning. So, as much as possible, parents, pay attention to your children. Like I've not been able to get that video out of my subconscious or out of my mind. It's just somewhere. Like I feel like I want to go and check in with all of the youngest with me. Like, how far? How are you doing? How is school going? Hope nobody's doing this to you. I feel like sometimes, I mean, even the children around me, they probably will be like, why is this lady like this? Like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm in the know of all of these things, and I cannot pretend or just act like I don't know.
And this is actually one reason I have a bit of bias towards sending my child to a boarding school. It's going to take a lot. For me
I
to
think
that
it
decision,
happens
but
everywhere. Day school,
I
boarding
know,
school,
but
but
the idea that I get to see you and I get to like
every day
look
at least
at
I can check in
yes,
with you.
I can.
Well, that's another
It
thing.
just makes me feel like okay, I am a bit in control of the situation. But well, it's all good. I just hope that parents can really, really read their
Teachers
children.
also, teachers too,
Mhm.
schools generally, they really need to do better because sometimes they know the bullies, but for some reason, sometimes selfish interest as well, or whose parent is able
Or
to
whose
give more
parents is
kids some money.
involved.
Mm.
Yes,
Then
that's
it's not a
true.
blind eye, not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just whatever it is that you do, don't sell your conscience.
Oh please.
Don't sell your conscience because sometimes I don't even know how some of you go to bed at night, knowing that you've done a lot of terrible things. That's what I say. My name is Esther Laribe,
And my name is Miracle Philip.
there we have it. So
Mhm.
we're done on the newspaper review this morning. Do well to join us at 5 minutes past 9 on Panorama as we have ladies from different geopolitical zones discussing topical issues. And keep it locked down on Women Radio 91.7. Of course, we know what you want and we do serve you exactly what you want to hear. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Argue with your Good morning.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report on corruption that is you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175